Got a couple of tens there. Well, it's a position he's been raising an awful lot in, the cut-off.
Called the 18.
So he's not likely to get too much respect.
Called the 18.
Both the blinds have called him, and for once he's actually got a genuine hand. Only one overcard between the two blinds, the jack. 7-5-3, and look at this, we've got an action flop here. Phil Ivy's got the overpair. Tony G has flopped top two pair. Well, he hasn't been too lucky so far today.
5,000. 5 called.
And you get a bet from Phil Ivy, $5,000, and a quick call from Tony G. Surprised he didn't put a raise in there right away.
Jack.
The turn is the jack, and now that's one more card that he cannot beat.
Okay.
It's a jack. Phil's reaching to fire again. It hasn't been Tony G's day. You wonder if he's a little gun shy here.
14,000.
And Phil Ivy's going to make it $14,000.
I'm all in.
And look at this, Tony G check raises all in. That's a big, big raise with the 7-5. He knows he's only going to get his money in now in a bad spot. That's a massive raise, about $90,000 more. I can't imagine Phil calling this. The interesting thing is you wonder if he would have gotten more action on the flop. But now the jack comes out, does that scare Phil Ivy? Pot is $138,000.
Yes. 60, 70, 80, 92, 93, 94,
94,400. 94,400.
How much?
94,400.
How much?
94,400.
It's almost as if Tony G is trying to buy the pot. There are plenty of kind of draws that Phil can be in good shape in here. You might think that Tony G's got 7-6 of clubs, that kind of a hand. Tony G has really played this hand a little unorthodoxly. And you can see the wheels turning. All the players very interested. This is a big pot, $140,000 pot. I can tell you one thing's for certain. Phil Ivy wishes he hadn't bet that 14,000 now. Trying to replay the hand in his head. What is Tony G trying to represent here? Such a strange bet on the turn. You can see maybe it's confused Phil Ivy a little bit. As you can see from the percentages, it wouldn't be the end of the world for Phil if he does make the call. He's still got a few cards he can catch. The 3, the jack, or the 10. Right. He's counting. He was stuck about 80,000 earlier on in this tournament, early on in this cash game. He'd managed to grind himself back to only about 25,000 behind. If he makes this call, he's in even worse state. Interestingly enough, Tony G had not rebought. You wonder how quickly Phil Ivy would have called. Yeah, you're right. This is 50,000 less. I'm pretty sure Ivy would have called by now. Could be thinking jack flush draw. Could have had two big hearts. He's caught the jack, and that's going to cripple Phil's hand. I think he's going to muck. Well, that's the interesting thing. If Tony G had something like Queen Jack of club, Queen Jack of hearts, your tens are no good there.
You can really only beat something like 7-6 of clubs.
Of course, the big difference between this and tournament play is if he gets this wrong, he's not out of the tournament. He can just pull up some more money. He sat down with $200,000. Drop in the ocean to a man who's won over $8 million in tournaments, not counting what he's won in side games.
Tony G obviously winning. Rebought for another $50,000 here, making this call even harder for Phil Ivey. Phil Ivey, one of the greatest players in the game today. The wheels are turning there. Obviously, all the players.
Well, he's decided to call. He's in bad shape, but he has got a few cards to catch.
He needs a 3, a jack, or a 10. Or this $233,000 pot is going to go to Tony G.
Last card.
So the king of clubs, and Tony G is going to win this pot. And a big smile for Tony G there. He takes a $233,000 pot. And Phil Ivey